Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to join me. I really appreciate that. Tonight, I want to talk about the upcoming Kamala Harris and Donald Trump debate, which is going to be, I think, very entertaining as well as very let's for the first time we'll actually have some material to discuss as it concerns both candidates and their particular open stance on some ideas and how they counter to one another. And I am actually pretty excited about this. I know that a lot of us are far more excited to see this debate than they were to see Joe Biden and or President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Just a couple months ago, we all know that was a snooze fest at best, you know. But nonetheless, I mean, it is what it is, and now we have the opportunity to discuss what that kind of debate is going to look like as it concerns, again, the two major political candidates that are vying for our vote to become president later on this year in November. I think it'll be interesting because Kamala Harris has not performed very well historically on the debate stage. I mean, there are just many examples available here on YouTube and all over the internet, for example, that really don't paint a good picture of her debating skills. And I think that oftentimes the skills required to give debate in a formative kind of way, like in a formal setting, is not like from a prosecutor sense. So prosecutors don't do a lot of talking. They just do a lot of, making orders and rules and stuff. And so they're not like a trial attorney, right? Where they're constantly, debating as it would be in open court to the defense and or prosecution of the client or whatever or the plaintiff. You know what I mean? So it's different. And you see this. You see that these skills do not translate over to being a politician, for example, because being a politician is learning and knowing how to talk. That's what being a politician is. It's being able to, master communication. And oftentimes the mastery of that um, communication is only learned from places that are, it's like being a boxer and finding an opponent to box you in the boxing ring. I mean, there are people who have spent their entire lives learning about speech and debate, how to communicate, how to debate, essentially. And while it sounds real boring, it actually does translate over on IRL to some very niche sort of occupations, one of them being a politician. And so I say all of this, right? And not just as filler for the video, but it's sort of like that's how important it is to understand why Kamala Harris will be destroyed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump is he's a debater, He's that's what he does. He debated when he was a young man. That's what he did. He learned how to debate, and then went on to live a life of, education, privilege and education, as well as the private sector, But the foundation of all of what this particular gentleman understands about politics and communication is derived specifically from being taught how to debate. I think he was a Lincoln Douglas debater, so he may have done. I can see him doing cross X, but cross X, for the record, is an extremely difficult thing in speech and debate where you got to learn how to talk real fast, and you have to like present some serious information within a real given limited amount of time. It's it's something to watch. Let me tell you. I know I'm pretty. It's got to be available here on YouTube, but probably again for sure on the internet somewhere. But just look up, Cross X, speech and debate, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, I mean, a debate's a debate. I look at debates again like other people value their octagons. I mean, I enjoy a good debate, and I truly just am getting a text message right now from Jason. What's up, Jason? I hope you're good, brother. But anyways, and I'm getting some pictures too. This is pretty phenomenal. It's the first time anyone's ever texted me while I've been doing a video, so I'm not really sure what the screen is doing. But yeah, I'm very excited about the speech, about the debate that is coming up. And again, I think it'll prove to all of us, I think what we kind of already know, and if you don't, it's that Kamala Harris is not a trained speaker professionally, and this will inevitably just lead to her um, decline faster than it would be if not. It is what it is. Again, I'm just saying, but I'm looking forward to it, and so are a lot of other people, I'm sure, and it's going to be an exciting thing to watch. I love speech and debate, and I love debates. There's historically been some really good debates from presidential candidates, not just in like history, but in the modern era. I mean, you take for example like some of those Reagan debates, and some of the first George Herbert Walker debates, and Bill Clinton and Al Gore, even George W. Bush. These guys are really good at debating, and so is Obama. Obama was a really good debater. Um, Hillary Clinton, not so much of a debater as again a trained lawyer, right? And more in that not just a lawyer, but a specific kind of lawyer, a lawyer who didn't go to trial, not a trial attorney. So again, just kind of lacking some of those skills. Of course, she was one of the better senators from the state of New York for a very long time. But even in that role, it's not as talkative as other elected roles. I mean, you talk a lot, for example, as a local state delegate, in like the state roundhouse. Oftentimes, local legislatures are former debaters from their local place, and so that's not by any mistake. That is definitely by design for those people who seek these kinds of careers out. Again, not just a career that you can kind of just jump into, unless obviously like you want to lose. I mean, not every rich guy that's thrown his hat into the ring has ever been successful. Highly, it's more likely that it's tough, more tough for those guys to do well, like your Mitt Romneys, or the guy who wanted the flat tax in the '90s, the really rich guy. I mean, it's not just about being rich. Again, being a president is more than just having a fat checking account. You feel me? It's a lot more than that. And I think even now we continue to see this just because the competition is basically stifled, in this current cycle. But there are many, many, many more qualified Republican candidates to, run for that office than there is like the rich guy named Trump who is out on one to just like get back in that office. He's a very determined man. I mean, holy potatoes, like just can I mean, I don't know, just a lot of drama. Most of us can't get through, like a little bashing publicly or something. These people, I tell you, they go through a lot. I mean, they are people, in fact. So far as we know, they are definitely people. And so I think it's easy to forget that, though. Which is why, I don't know, sometimes you just make vlogs about nothing and you just kind of do what you do, and look forward to whatever kind of material is produced. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for participating in my life. I really appreciate it. You have no idea. I really do. It means a lot. And I hope that, sooner than later, I'm able to give more than just like trays and tins away and random stuff to you guys. And I know that time will come. It's just, a matter of time. 4 videos a day. If you're not already a subscriber, consider subscribing. It helps out the channel a bunch, all right? Have a really good night, and thanks again for your time. Bye.